And boom, we are rolling, folks. Another edition, Beyond Average. We are back. Hello, Minifans, Kirk Minahan YouTube Network. Another episode. I think, was this like 10th episode, I think, on the Kirk Minahan YouTube Network?
Is that what it is?
I think it's been like 10 weeks now.
Oh.
Yeah, we've been going strong.
Yeah.
I did not predict that.
Thought we'd be gone by now?
I thought we would be
off?
gone completely. I thought we were toast. Yeah, there's a fly flying around. Sorry.
We got basically the Breaking Bad episode right now.
Yeah, we're obsessed with this fucking fly. But no, we've got quite this. We got a lot to recap. Let's start with the Kirk Minahan world. Let's start with the KMS universe. The Riggs episode, we were just talking about that a minute ago. That was a snoozer. That was tough. As a golf guy, could you sit through an hour and a half of that every Friday of Riggs being kind of... He's a Minifan. You can tell he listens to the show, and he even said he's a new Minifan, like just the last few, I think, like year now, he's been a big fan. So, like, I'm not giving him a hard time for not knowing everything about the Kirk Minahan world. Yeah. But at the same time, it just seemed like he didn't bring any enthusiasm. I don't know. It seemed like it was almost too regular. And I feel like that's like people, I know Kirk doesn't like people acting out. Like he doesn't want the WWE stuff and people going crazy. But like at the same time, you kind of have to bring something to the, to the show. But
I really only got like two things from the episode. One, I agreed with with Riggs that Kirk's a psycho when he walks in. And I was like, no, that's true. Like that whole persona of how he just walks in, doesn't talk, doesn't look at anybody, and they just hit play and it's time to start. That was funny because we kind of got the same deal when we were there. We're like, oh, he's like...
But you'd expect him to treat us like that?
Not Riggs.
Not Ryan Whitney and Riggs.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody says the same thing. It's like, no, he just kind of walks in, gives you a little head nod, and then it's like, Dave, let's go.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny. And then the other thing that I took away from it was I was on the other side of Kirk on Riggs' age. I thought Riggs was probably closer to 30. And I think Kirk put him at like 38, but I think Kirk was trying to give him shit to make him seem like he was older.
Yeah.
But I guess he was, 35 or 36? 36
I think something like that. Yeah, he was mid-30s. Yeah. I would have picked...
I thought he was younger.
Yeah, you could have told me he was 29. I probably would have believed it. Just because...
Frankie's got to be younger. Yeah, and definitely. So does Trent, right?
I think Trent's like almost 30 now as well.
I feel like they got to be close to my age. I thought they were all my age.
Yeah, I thought Riggs was just like a few years older than me. I didn't know
which is 28, if you're wondering, for a little bit longer.
What's that?
My age.
You're 28?
Yeah, holding on for like...
For what? About a month.
Yeah, about a month, and then I'm on the last year.
Yeah, lucky you.
No, not lucky me.
No, you're good. But fucking, what's it called? No, we gotta get. I got a lot to get to here. Do not derail me today.
Well,
all right? We have a lot to get to.
Do you have anything about the Riggs episode or no?
No, I just couldn't listen to that for once a week. I'll tell you that. Like I wouldn't mind him coming in, a couple times a year, like if he's a Minifan, and the thing is he stays out of the Barstool drama. He even said that many times where it's like, well, I want someone who's going to be in the thick of things if they're coming on Kirk. I want like Rico Bosco or Big Cat or somebody who's just kind of involved with them. Yeah, Marty Mush. Even. Yeah, that would be. I'm sure he could make some entertainment out of that. Yeah, but no, it was just quite nothing too good there. I didn't, and then a lot of people were loving the Greg Polar episode.
That guy sucks.
You didn't like him?
No,
okay.
That guy sucks.
So you want to talk about low energy? I don't know if it's just his voice, but he had such a quiet voice. I mean, it was many times I had to turn my phone up, and I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" I just couldn't I couldn't tell if that's just how he talks all the time or if he was just like nervous being on the show. But he's an actor, right? So like, I mean, I'm sure he's used to that kind of stuff.
If you want to call him that. If that's what you want to call him, sure.
Wow.
Can you name one thing he's bad in?
No, I have no idea. I don't even.
You're an extra.
I know Amy Poehler. I know her.
Yeah. His sister's huge.
Yeah. No, but the episode, I thought they had good chemistry for never doing a show together.
Oh, 100%. I don't think he was bad in that sense. I just thought that he was like I hate people that pretend they're in the middle. I'm not a fan. Like he was like, oh yeah, no, like Kirk was kind of giving him shit for being a hardcore liberal, and he was like, no, like I like people that can have discourse and are able to talk and are able to do that. I wish there was more of that. And then Cullen came right off the top ropes and be like, you just said that you wouldn't have Donald Trump on your podcast.
Yeah.
Like if you think you're even close to middle grounded and you wouldn't have Donald Trump on your podcast, you're an idiot. Like there's no other, like I'd have Biden in a heartbeat.
I think
wouldn't think twice about it. Would love to have him on.
I think if it's a sitting president, yeah. So I mean, it kind of depends on the time.
No. Especially Donald Trump with how polarizing he is. There's no chance you say no to that. Anybody.
Yeah, but you're not getting final cut. You're never.
He's gonna have the final cut.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Still,
so
who gives a fuck?
It's just kind of gonna be like it's gonna be a marshmallow interview.
Maybe.
Most
like the Nelk Boys was funny, like for however long it was up for 2 seconds. Like
I watched that interview, and there was a couple things like you could tell like they were set up questions. They completely had the softball questions where it's like, what do you think of the Afghanistan bailout? Like how would you have handled it? You know, just shit like that. And of course, like he's going to give his political spiel. But Trump, no matter what, even if you hate him, if you're a liberal, Democrat, whatever you are, like I feel like if you are down the middle, or if you can just be objective. Politics aside, like he's not in the office or anything right now, so that dude can entertain anybody. I don't care what even if he is your least favorite person in the world, he can entertain an audience.
He's
just a born fucking he just gets it. And you see the thing with the table,
the glass, dude. That would make me die.
Dude, he's Vince McMahon. He's a political Vince McMahon. It really is.
Yeah, he's. To sit there and say that you wouldn't have him on is just foolish.
Yeah, I know. That was a good point by Cullinane. Yeah. Although Cullinane saying that, he wouldn't have him on after a mass shooting, which is kind of just even more bizarre, where it's like, I feel like that'd be the one time you'd want somebody like
I'm not having Donald Trump on because I like him or I agree with him. I'm having him on because he's polarizing and there's a good chance he's going to say something dumb. Same with Biden. Same kind of thing. Like the reason why I'm having Biden is not because I like him or agree with him. I think he's going to come on and say something stupid.
Is he coming on here?
I've already talked to him a few times.
Good.
Like after the bike crash, I hit him up, gave him my condolences, said, "Hey, buddy, I can give you some lessons. Come on over."
I got a thought on the bike crash. We'll get to it because I want to keep going here with the KMS stuff. That was like 2 weeks ago though, so we don't need to go too into the rigs and the Polar.
Oh, I'm not done off Polar. If you're trying to move on, all right.
Go ahead, sure.
Yeah. So the other part was, I guess he's like a groomer too.
Meaning what?
I mean, he was sitting there saying, "Yeah, I mean, Kirk's like, I mean, you wouldn't want your kid to be basically solicited to a drag queen show at school, especially without your permission." He's like, I mean, it's just like, oh, dude, you are such a fucking
weird.
You're such a weirdo. Like,
but
he's part of the Hollywood thing. You know what I mean? Like, Kirk even called him out. He's Hollywood. That's like a Hollywood thing to be like, oh, like I'll be more open minded. Like he wants to try to be open minded while being completely closed minded.
See, yeah, I think Riggs is a better fit for the show as far as like just being able to disagree.
I heard people saying they wanted a permanent third seat for this guy.
That's what I'm saying. Some people were calling it one of the best episodes in KMS history.
What did I miss?
They had good chemistry, but let's not pretend that Kirk wasn't just taking it easy on him.
Yeah,
he could have easily dumped all over him for being contrary, contradicting himself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Cullinane did a better job, I think, calling him out on stuff than Kirk did. Although Kirk gave him like a couple of ribs right at the beginning about it.
Yeah.
But I think Cullinane was pretty good at making sure that...
I'd have to go back because I know it was like 2 weeks ago now. I did listen to it.
It was a good episode. I'm not saying it wasn't a good episode.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. I
just think he stinks.
Good. Yeah. He's not very he didn't really bring the heat for me. He didn't move the needle.
No.
But all right, let's get off Polar because I don't think he's coming back anytime soon.
He might be. I don't know that.
He's going back to Sweden. That was the one kind of cool thing to hear that like he's just like a actor in Sweden and writes for a bunch of shows. That's pretty cool.
So I was confused actually by that. Are they from England or London or some shit?
I have no idea.
No,
he's from fucking. What are you talking about?
They grew up
here.
He was his rival.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but I don't know. But let's get into the more trendy news of the week. Obviously, Chris Klemmer. We talked about this last episode 2 weeks ago.
Who's that?
Exactly. No, exactly. Who the hell is that? And I'm sorry if I'm looking at this. Montante, shout out our guy Michael Montante. He's giving me MLS picks, and I'm all over this game. And he's finally got me a lead. And this
you have money on?
I'm 0-5, but I got Seattle here. So no, I'm serious. He's giving me shit picks every single time. A lot of blowouts too. It's like doesn't really happen in soccer. But shout out Montante. We love him.
Let's pick the opposite then.
Klemmer.
Yeah.
Did you catch some of the Barstool Idol stuff? How much did you catch of it? How much?
How much of the actual Barstool Idol stuff did I watch? I mean, I didn't watch like all of it. Like I watched his pitch and stuff, obviously, because when Kirk talked about it.
I watched the highlights of Klemmer more than anything.
Yeah,
I wasn't too into like the rest of the competition.
Though I would say out of the whole competition, the one thing that I took note of was how unathletic every single contestant was.
That's what I thought too.
I mean, I was like, what is going on?
Even the kid who looked like younger, I was like, this kid, he looked athletic.
Yeah.
Like, he looked like he had an athletic build.
Not an athletic bone in his body.
He couldn't dribble.
Nothing. Not one of them looked like they were...
And I'm not Barry Sanders over here, but like
we've seen the soccer videos though.
Well, that's true. That is true. And just for the record, I've never played soccer in my life, so that's just foot coordination there, natural God-given ability.
Yeah, but they're pathetic.
No, that was tough to watch. Yeah, that basketball game was really tough to watch.
Yeah, I will say Klemmer had an electric outfit. I mean, you show up with Magic Shack. I mean, it's
him legit. Not dribbling, just running. I think they topped him at like 18 miles an hour. Someone did the math.
Way.
Yeah, someone mathed that out. Someone, wrote that out, and yeah, they did it on Twitter. Twitter.com. They never lie.
Well, then I guess maybe I should take my athletic statement back. Maybe Klemmers
he's got that like giraffe build, like the long legs. I think he's pretty tall. Yeah. He looks like he's at least 6 feet, 6'1",
120 pounds.
Yeah, so, yeah, 6'1". Yeah, exactly. Oh boy, but no, I would say out of all the people that kind of blew an opportunity in life, I mean, there's been so many chances that people have just blown. Yeah. This was handed to him, especially if you're looking at the field. Just like you said, other than Jeff Nadeau, the guy who came back in, who's been at Barstool before, who Portnoy clearly likes. But I think he's kind of in on it. I think he makes money off his own shit, and like he seems like he's doing well. Yeah, and I'm just based off his tweets. I don't know if
I just feel like they're always like. But I think he's in in front of him. You know what I mean? They're
he
like,
left.
You want to come in?
Left on. He went there, and then he left on his own power.
Yeah, but he had to try to fight for his job, literally on Rough and Rowdy. Like, I mean, they literally just like dangle carrots in front of this guy.
Pretty much, yeah. No, you're right. They definitely give Nadeau a hard time, but I think he's in on it because I think it also helps build his brand.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure.
But
he was like the only other guy I knew other than Klemmers.
Dude, other than that, there's not. I know the two people that got picked for win, whatever. I don't even know their names, but I'm telling you,
who's Big Purple though? Big Purple was electric.
He's gone. No, dude, these kids were all just forced. Still. It was all just so forced. There wasn't one person that could like take a joke. How about the kid on the rundown that was breaking down Justin going and chirping Klemmer? You know, Justin went to fucking
the TikTok looking motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I just don't really get it. Like, I don't really get. Like, what do you mean, dude? Take a laugh. It's just a joke. You know what I mean? I know you're trying so hard to get the job of a lifetime, and this is the fucking end all be all. But like, relax. Why do you think he's there? Do you think he really hates the guy, or do you think he's just trying to make content for his own fucking show?
What was his whole thing? What was his deal? What was that kid's whole deal and pitch? I don't even remember what his.
I didn't really watch the whole thing, honestly. I don't know because I couldn't really sit through it. It was hard to watch. A lot of the fucking stuff, like, it just wasn't for me. I don't know. That the whole competition felt rushed. It felt like it was not like well produced or anything.
The kid pitching Barstool Idol to Barstool Idol was kind of funny. I don't think he even realized that. Did you see that?
No. I have no idea.
Some kid was like, so I got an idea where like I'll find like a blogger and we'll try to have like a competition where we can see who can. And
like, what are we doing?
And Dave was like, "Are you describing Barstool Idol?"
Yeah. What are you talking about?
He's like, I mean, kinda. Yeah, that was a little funny, but yeah, overall. I know you're shitting on Klemmer.
He blew it. He blew it, dude. This is the job of a lifetime. If you get in with these people and they like you, even just a little bit for a couple months, you're basically set, especially if Dave likes you. Dave Portnoy was tweeting saying he likes this Chris Klemmer guy. Who is this guy? He's like, dude, I would not. I know I heard Red and fucking Menor say this, which we'll get to them, but I heard them say this. You have to, I don't know if Menor's agreed, but Red definitely says, you have to go to that office the next day. I'm showing up. I'm saying, look, if I got voted off because my team sucked and this, that, and the other, and you know, I
Costanza it,
dude. You go with something other than Texas Poop Hold'em.
To be fair,
what the hell is Texas Poop Hold'em?
So hold on, let's not act.
No,
like,
that is insane.
No, let's not act like that wasn't by far the funniest pitch. I'm not saying that his. I know he wasn't being funny. Yeah, that's what I mean.
But
he wasn't.
He hates that.
Does it matter when you're at Barstool? Like if you're. Out of all the people that I watched that were doing their pitches and stuff, his was the only one that made me laugh out loud. And I know that he wasn't doing it on purpose, and he was trying to be serious.
You know him because of the Kirk Minahan world.
Still,
but if you didn't know who he was, you'd be like,
it wasn't
what the
that.
Fuck?
It wasn't that. It was the silence.
Really?
By the people that were listening, they were like,
yeah.
I mean, he heard crickets, bro, and he knew. You could hear the panic in his voice pick up, and then he went on to his next bit, which was what was his next one? The betting one that I couldn't understand what the fuck his second one was.
I have no idea. I really don't. And I know Kirk broke it down. What a great 45-minute episode.
Yeah, that was
breaking through down the whole thing. Hysterical. And Kirk broke it down saying like you could listen to him pitch that second idea 100 times and still not get it. Because I especially if you don't know the movie that he was referring to, like it was some old movie. It's definitely not fucking current today. Yeah. And yeah, he's referring to like a 70s comedy. Like every single person on that panel was like, what are you talking about?
You think Big Cat was like, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I've vouched for you.
Literally,
man.
What is this?
Yeah, he's probably like, so I think there's two things that could have happened there. Like, I think everyone on the show was like, all right, well, it's Big Cat's show, right? It's like, you know, this is kind of his guy, so they're going to take it easy on him. If it was just a random contestant, I feel like they would have shit all over him.
Yeah,
I feel like they'd be like, dude, that's your idea. Like, first of all, you don't even go the full 3 minutes. You go 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and you give us Texas Poop Hold'em and some fucking idea that nobody has a clue about. Still,
the only thing I was like,
it's just hard. I mean, dude, it's a blown opportunity. Yeah, he blew it hardcore.
He could have at least given us some detail on how long he's made it. Like, how long have you made it without
to the
pooping?
story?
Like, give me a story
my friends
about it.
played. All right, well, give
Who's
you
won?
exactly. Make it
What's
up
the
or
best
something.
thing like, have you shit your pants? Does anybody shit their pants?
Why do you think he didn't? Do you think he was afraid to like go too much and like overdo it? Do you think he was trying to be like cool? Because that's the sense I got. I think he got there and was like, I'm
like,
a
you
little
guys are
mature for
perfect
this
for
room. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I can kind of stoop down to your level here and you guys will buy it. I think everybody there was like, dude, you seem like right now you're taking yourself a little like not like too serious, but like it just wasn't authentic.
Well,
it didn't sound authentic.
I think you nailed it when you're saying he took himself too serious. I mean, when he decided that he thought he made it. I think he thought he made it before he even showed up. Like he was
with the 95 Mariners and the
Big
everything.
Cat I think he was like, oh, I'm getting this job. Like this is it. This is my opportunity, and I don't need. I think this is like a fake interview to make everybody else feel good. Because like when you do what he did to Kirk, like that says a lot. Like when Kirk says, hey, can you come in? And you go, I don't know, as if you have made it or done anything. Like if Kirk called you right now and like, hey, I want you to come in tomorrow, you'd be there. You'd probably call and work, whatever you could do. You'd probably show up.
If I was in a different state, I would show up. Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And not only that, but like especially knowing that like you've gained your opportunity off of Kirk, and the reason why anybody likes you is because the Minifan world has been pushing you. Right. Like
the reason why you're in Barstool Idol is because of Kirk. Period.
Simple.
End of story.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, and his fan base who's been pushing you and
even after he got off, he's been like
I like Klemmer too. Like I think there is a place for him to make content. Like I don't think he's completely lost in this type of like world. I think he has to understand like he's never going to be like a.
I think he has to be
like a lead role somewhere, and kind of he's going to have to be.
He has to be the butt end of the joke.
Yeah, okay with getting shit on.
Yeah,
but you can still like okay with getting shit on and still have good ideas and produce good content that's not you being the butt of the joke. But on like the main stage, like I think you have to be able to just get. You know, I think kind of like you're saying with that, like I don't think he ever was okay with that with Kirk. I think he took it and realized like, all right, this is part of the job or part of the opportunity being on the Kirk Minahan show. But I don't think he ever liked it.
Like he's the perfect guy. Like
but who likes getting shit on? I mean, it's tough to say that you like it, but like
if you're getting paid, it's
I don't
easy.
think yeah, but he wasn't getting paid.
But I'm saying,
and he tried to get it, but he tried to get
an opportunity to.
Yeah, but he tried to get a full-time job with Kirk, and Kirk didn't give it to him. Yep. So that's where for him, where it's like. Yeah, I understand him wanting to move on after like a year of the show, not getting the job, and eventually like you got to move on if you're trying to produce or trying to I don't know, like gain yourself, make your own career basically.
Why he doesn't have to work?
Maybe not move on, but like if there opportunity like Barstool Idol comes up and Kirk's like, all right, this is gonna kind of be the end of it for him either way. Like fine, but like I think where we would all criticize him is how he ended it. He ended it.
Yeah,
he almost burnt the bridge himself when there was no like real animosity.
He put dynamite on the bridge and fucking set it off himself. Yeah, like, there is no other way to explain it.
And then he's kind of just been ghosting the Minifans, which has been kind of I mean
he didn't answer my question. It had like 30 likes and he just wouldn't answer.
What'd you ask him?
How long have you made it? I just wanted to know what's the what's the longest you made it? I didn't get it. Yeah.
I it's somebody who
I don't think he's played it.
What?
I don't think he's played Texas Poop Hold'em.
Well, he talked about there was an old tweet talking about.
Oh yeah, I heard Cullinan. Yeah, you're right.
They kind of exposed him there. How it was a really old idea. I don't know why he's going back to these old ideas.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what you go with.
Why didn't he just stay pitching with like I'm going to do like some kind of streaming thing, or like he could have done like another rating thing.
And that's what Kirk said. Kirk was like, yeah, like. You know, you could just say that I'm a weird guy. I have these weird ideas. I'm going to pitch you a bunch of ideas. Maybe one of them can help you make money. I'm not going to cost a lot of money. Like, you know, that is the simple pitch. But I also think you have to spice it up a little bit. Like, you don't have to go full fucking WWE, but you also just can't be so boring. And that was another thing. There was no like energy to his pitch. He was kind of just like, all right, yeah, so Texas Poop Hold'em. Here's the deal. Like, there was, and people were looking at him like, what?
Yeah, he
like,
doesn't.
It's insane that like those guys didn't give any laugh at all.
No, nothing.
None.
He doesn't embrace his persona whatsoever. Like, do you remember that kid? I think it was like, what's his name? Mantis. Remember that kid?
Yeah.
Like
he was from Barstool Idol.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Yeah, he was Barstool Idol, and he was like one of the contestants of the one, and like he embraced what he was in like the sense of like he knew where he could get a laugh and all that stuff. And like Klemmer is just off the cusp. Look at him is funny, like in the sense of. What is this weirdo?
He's
like, what is this
guy?
Like, he's just he is a pitch perfect Hollywood looking nerd. Like, he's a 6'2" scrawny kid that weighs like 120 pounds, has no job, lives off his wife. Like, everything about him is hilarious.
No, he made a lot of money, man. What are you talking about?
With what?
He made a lot of money in the 90s and the early 2000s.
You have any idea doing what?
No, I have no idea. I don't remember he referred to that once on the show. He was saying that. He's like, I made a lot of money. That's how I'm able to not have a job. Who knows? Maybe
his wife still works.
Maybe he's a crypto guy. I feel like he could sneaky be like a crypto guy.
Why is his wife working then?
I don't know.
Is she like a lawyer?
I don't know what they
She
do.
makes the bread. Don't let him fool you. She
Yeah,
breaks the
probably,
bread. Don't let him fool you. But like the whole point is, if he was able to embrace the role that he kind of, his persona that he kind of gives off naturally, I feel like he'd have a lot more success. But like you're saying, he doesn't want to be the butt end of every joke.
I will say he was doing it more from the other than his pitch. Like during the basketball game, you could tell he embraced like just being like the weirdo, like kind of running up and down, looking like a baby giraffe. But I don't know. Enough with the Barstool Idol stuff. It was just hard to watch somebody who has kind of grown on me. I've said this a lot. I started out not liking Klemmer at all. Yeah. I thought he was kind of just, I didn't really like his voice. And then when he was shitting on Justin for being young and that, that being unqualified because he was young, that really gave me a bad taste. And I almost felt like Chris would be the guy complaining at the bar about something very minimal, like the ketchup's almost empty type of guy, or like, you have plenty, I feel like he's, even just very, he gave off that vibe to me at first, but then he started to grow on me. He started to laugh at himself a little bit. But then once the Added Theater to Me hate started really ramping up and, because he got COVID, but if people remember, that show was dying. It was even Kirk stopped talking about it as much. It was hard to listen to the Added Theater Near Me stuff towards the end. So with Klemmer getting this opportunity, it's hard for me to
no sympathy,
give him any sympathy at all. Like I just you kind of just blew it there, man. And I think he's a good guy, and I would hope that he lands on his feet, but who knows?
I really don't care if he does.
Do you think he's going to make content outside of this stuff ever again? Do you think he's going to go back to like Quantum Week? Or
I hope that Kirk doesn't allow him back in. Like I know it sounds mean.
That's not happening. For a while.
I mean, Cullinane tweeted the other day, like, why not now than never, or whatever he tweeted. Like I just hope that like they're not like, if anything, like one episode where Kirk just fucking. We get a Kirk going off on him, destroying him. Like I wouldn't mind that.
Be good at the Wilbur. Maybe get him on at the Wilbur.
Yeah, like live.
Rope-a-dope him.
Yeah,
let's come on, Chris. We'll have a couple laughs.
Yeah,
and then Kirk fucking explodes on him.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like I wouldn't mind that, and I feel like I'm trying to sound like a dick, or like I'm trying to put him down, or that I'm happy that he didn't get it. I just like.
Well, you definitely sound like that.
I was saying that I was kind of like a fan of him before, but like when he told Kirk. I'm good. I was like, he's a spoiled bitch. I was like, he's an only child. I bet you he's an only child. I bet you his parents have given him mostly
you don't
everything.
Know that.
I don't know that at all.
I bet you.
I'm just completely going off a whim of what his persona is. Like I don't know. There's not a competitive bone in the guy's body. Like the idea that Kirk was like, I need you to come on, and he was like, I got like a Celtics game, and I don't know. We'll see. That was the first time that I was like,
being more mad though about not getting the full-time job and realizing that like his time on the show was.
Kirk's giving you the best opportunity you've ever had.
I'm just telling you from his perspective, and I think you're right when you said his ego got a little. I don't know if the spoiled is it. I think he just got a little too full of himself.
Yeah, I don't like him anymore at all.
You sound like you really don't like him.
Yeah, not a fan.
I can tell. I can tell. Well, speaking of not a fan, we got to talk about guys who are not a fan of you. Because do you have anything else on Klemmer before I move on?
No, the only thing I would accept is always a one show episode that we could have him get shit on and then see you later. Don't ever want to see him again.
Get him up there at the Wilbur. I can't wait for that. But all right, moving on from that because we've got a lot here in the KMS world. Just by the way, did you? Menners is coming soon. Menners is coming 4th of July. Yeah. He hit me up today talking about, I'm gonna come to the Cape one of those days. I'm like, all right, yeah, man. If you come on like a weekend day, like we definitely, I'll meet up with you.
I'll meet up with Menners.
It'll be toe to toe. Like we're gonna have to hash some stuff out first, but because he's talked a lot. You want me to play some of the things that he's been saying about you recently?
Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
These guys go heavy on you, man. I couldn't.
Well, Red's upset that I've seen him what he looks like in real life, and I've basically been telling everybody that he's got massive titties, which he does. So I think he's a little upset that like.
What would you give him for a bra size?
He's got to be a D cup.
Really?
Yeah, he's got some knockers. Yeah, it's serious. Like I get a little horny when I look at him.
No, come on. Yeah, no, he's a good guy. Did we find out if he actually is a gym teacher?
Has to be with the picture I saw. There's no chance. I'm dead serious. There's no chance he's not a gym teacher. I don't know. I mean, 100%. He's a. I
know that he doesn't really make other content on the side. He does just they do the KMS Rabbit. I think he actually has a good voice for podcasting.
Oh yeah,
very. He has like.
I think he's a better voice than I do for podcasting.
I think he's got a better voice than I do as well. Yeah. I would love to hear him. Like I think he'd be like a narrator. I think Red would be a really good narrator.
Like a book.
Yeah, an audio book or like something like that. Yeah, but let me play. We're giving compliments now, but he kind of shit all over us here.
So the Beyond Average podcast was like an hour and 20 minutes this week, so about an hour too long. And the first 20 minutes was
Is Christian on there?
He doesn't know anything about KMS world. He pretends, I work in a noisy environment, so I have it on. But
I'm glad that Menor listens to everything.
Bullshit. He just doesn't listen to the show. So it's the Mick talking about KMS, Christian kind of doing a Carabas and asking and reacting. So
thank you. I'll take this compliment.
I think Mick needs a change of scenery. He needs
you hearing
somebody. He's got the soccer skills.
Are you hearing this?
Maybe he can go on false nine. He needs something.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is what I don't like, Red. This is real quick.
I would love if you got a job with that. I
want to let you respond to Red real quick because they're giving you a hard time. Again, I know you're a Minifan. I know you listen, so I'm not going to question your Minifandom anymore.
I've been a fan before they even knew about him. I could care less what they say.
Exactly. I know you don't get every second of the show, but you're very up to date in the world, and that's something that people don't give you enough credit for. However, I want to address Red here real quick. Red, love you, mean it, man, but we'll handle the programming here, and this show is not going anywhere. Similar to you and Menor's Bond, this is what Beyond Average is. We've said this from the start, dude. This is a two-way partnership. It's a partnership, just like Steve wanted it with him and Kirk. It's a partnership. It is a partnership between me and you, and we're gonna make it work. I think we've had some fun here on the network, despite what everybody says. The listens, who cares? A couple hundred people listen to it. I think that if we got some more promotion from the big show, and maybe if we can get Dave Cullinane on here one of these days, I think some people will start listening and realize that, these guys actually do listen to the show. They're not just sitting there trying to get some clout. Because again, we've been going on for 10 plus weeks, 12 plus. All I'm trying to do is help build other Minifan content.
Take out all the Minifan listeners. Mm-hmm. I bet you our podcast has more natural listeners than anybody else's.
Menor claims he's got some good ones, but
no chance. What is his numbers? What does he claim he gets for an episode?
I don't know.
You don't know why I don't know? I've never listened to his show. So
that's true.
Yeah. But I'm glad that you listen to everything I say, Menor. I do appreciate that. And I'll also say thank you for the compliment on calling me Carabas. I mean, if you thought that was a diss, thank you, buddy.
Well, I mean, Carabas, to be fair, was he's not the best with the Minifans.
I mean, yeah, because
he just doesn't embrace the lunacy of it. I kind of get more annoyed with it more than anything.
I mean,
he's a little sensitive.
He's embraced enough that he's arguing on Reddit.
Yeah, just a little sensitive, I think.
That's fine. I would say that I'm not very sensitive.
His mental health and stuff, and the
Minifans are nuts. They're nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't take anything to heart with these guys. Very true. You know what I mean? Half of them don't even show their face. Red doesn't even want to show his face. It sucks for you that I saw it. But yeah, you ugly prick.
Give Red. Yeah, come on. We like Red. I like Menors. I don't know why they hate our show. Again, I still feel like they're a little threatened. I know that they are the number one KMS wrap-up show, although VD has something to say about that with his new program.
Yeah, VD.
But I think they're just a little threatened by us. Although Menors claims to always want to, support Minifan content, I do not feel like they do that ever. But hey, we support their show.
They pretend. That's what their whole thing is. They pretend to do things.
But hey, we'll hash this out over a nice beer. We'll have a good time. I think we can have a good lunch. No, I'm telling you, I think Menors was like a sneaky Alexander Volkanovsky.
There's a 0% chance.
Yeah, no, I think if we saw, I'm telling you,
he looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy and Bagel Boy had a fucking kid.
But you've only seen him neck up.
No, dude, you can see his fucking. You can see his stomach protruding.
What if he was I'm pretty sure he's a rugby cricket guy. So how those guys go. That's like a UFC thing over there. You don't mess with the rugby guys. You would never want to fight a rugby guy.
Listen, Red looks like a big dude. Red would be a big fight.
Sounds like a big dude.
He'd probably mess me up.
Got that deep voice.
He just looks, from the picture I saw, he looks like a pretty big dude. He's got some pretty big titties. It would be a struggle to fight him. He'd suffocate me.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious. He's a big fella. That's why I think Menors keeps him on. I don't think Menors likes Red. You can always see him on Twitter kind of
Well, yeah, he's had a couple breakdowns over him. And, he got mad that he went on Justin's show the other day. That, he went on Justin's wrap-up show and didn't
that's all Menors does is bitch. It's all he does.
But it's because he cares. I've been over this. No, but he really cares. He
complains. I'm going to be the complaining guy. I'm constantly wondering. I'll talk like this. Everything's facetious. I can't even speak, but I'm not educated, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I can't. I really don't have anything nice to say about either of them.
Well, I think you're going to change your mind once I don't know if Red's going to be down on the Cape, but Menors, we're gonna have to get a beer with him and during his 2-week stint here. Do you think he's going to get in studio? I know Kirk has alluded that he's not even going to be allowed in the Wilbur. No. But do you think I think there's a chance he might.
Why?
Just because it'll feed into the show. It'll be good for the show and people will, love it. I think the Minifans will love it. Maybe not the people who are casual listeners. They might be what the fuck's this guy about?
Like me?
Yeah, that's right. Very, very good.
Yeah, no, I think Menors would actually be pretty good as a guest on the show. I don't think Red has a prayer of going on the show, but
Red's just, I mean, he
Like, you want to talk about like he calls me out for just being there as like a
he
reaction
just blows
guy.
Cullinane the whole time. I mean, they've never said a critical word about Cullinane. I will say though, during the most recent episode there, I don't know if that's the sound I just played.
I'm Team Cully, so I get that.
They were destroying Klemmer. I mean, or at least he was. He was like, "What? How did you not win? I mean, look around. Like, these people. You're against these slobs, and you couldn't finish it. Like, come on."
Plus, I mean, you have an entire army backing you.
That not an entire, because Kirk kind of
Even the hate's backing you. Like,
Kirk,
any talk is
thing,
good talk.
Though, real quick, like he doesn't. They don't really shit on. I mean, he shit on Chris during this most recent episode, and he shits on at a theater near me. He hasn't really like shit on him. I remember the days where like he would say things that's like uncomfortable to listen to. Like about like people, like it'd be like, you're a talentless fuck, like looking at him and like, you know what I mean, like really.
He says that the Cully Daily.
Yeah, like a very hard rant against Cullinane. Sometimes it's like, oof, it's tough to listen to, but like he never really did that against Klemmer. The most recent episode, I guess, would be the one example where he shit on all over him for his pitches, but like I feel like he kind of always handled him with kid gloves.
He also used to say that he used to get like lunch with him outside. I think he's the only person that he would actually.
I think that was a bit more than anything.
You think?
Yeah, I think he liked him, but I don't think they were. I think they more probably texted, and they were similar in age. And like,
well, that's what I mean. That's probably
they liked movies. Like I think that's kind of right there. That's their relationship.
Like
I don't think he was hitting him up being like, "How was your Sunday?"
Yeah, but I bet you he probably had a similar. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but like, probably wrong on this. I was gonna say he probably had a similar relationship that he had like with Mott, but I think he's actually pretty good friends with Mott. So,
yeah, I think probably yeah. But like, I mean, he only did one show a week with the guy too. It's not like he was spending that much time with
him. I bet you he knows more about Klemmer in his life, and it was obvious because he knew nothing about Mike. Like I don't think he Mike's been there for how long now? 3 years? Or how long has it been?
Yeah, I think on and off for since the beginning of the show. So yeah, 3 years.
I forget which episode it was. I think it was the one before Riggs, where they were talking about that, how like he knew nothing. Like he didn't know about his nephew. Like he knew nothing about Mike, and I was actually shocked by that. I figured that I guess like most things, I figure some of it's a bit, and like there's probably some behind scenes where he's more friendly with them, but I think it's pretty authentic of what it is on air and off air.
I think it's the closest you'll get to any show going.
But I think Klemmer, on the other hand, that's what you're saying, like where he got treated with the kid gloves, I think he had like a real relationship with him. I don't know if that's the right word, but
yeah, I think more than anything, I don't think he thought like Klemmer was going to do anything like that, where it's going to basically get a shot where Big Cat's going to be retweeting your stuff and promoting your stuff. One of the biggest guys on the internet all of a sudden. Kirk is big, but like Kirk admits it himself, he doesn't do a lot of promotion. I mean, I think we all agree if he did, he could be a lot bigger and his brand would grow. And if more people got to really understand his show rather than just see like when Barstool talks about him negatively, like if they promoted him more, he says he just doesn't want it. So like that's just his right. You know what I mean? He's already made money. He's fine
where he's at.
Yeah, he's fine with it, right? And I think he's got enough crazies. Why invite more? My point is
he also loses. He doesn't want to do it half the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so and he's older. It's like, dude, I've kind of already made it. I had one of the biggest radio careers. I've made money.
I don't think he's looking for
already
clout.
Has money. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he cares for it. I don't think he's doing it.
I think he cares about doing a really good show.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares about what the audience thinks, because I think he, in his own right,
as the Riggs episode showed.
Yeah, well, they're very good. But I think he has his own. I think he trusts his judgment. He's like, I know what these people are gonna like. I think he listens to the hardcore fans about some things, but I think sometimes he's like, fuck you guys. Like, I know this is good. You're gonna trust me, and this is how it's gonna go. And more often than not, it's great. So, I think there's not too many other podcasters really like him. It's really kind of cool to see like the dynamic from like when he started with being with fucking. Remember the days with John and John Dennis and Jerry Callahan?
Probably my favorite Kirk Minahan's time
when he's doing the headlines. He was just basically turning in a morning show with two older guys, and he would talk about like sex and shit, and like almost like make it a little uncomfortable. He brought that stern element to the show.
There was I think my favorite part of Kirk is when he has a feud. Like I really enjoy when he's feuding with somebody,
especially like the radio guys, like the 12 to the Mutt and Lou or whoever it was, Ordway, Michael Hawley.
Better than that was when he took out John Dennis. Like I thought that was the most entertaining time that I've ever listened to radio, was when he fucking bulldozed John Dennis off the air.
Yeah, I mean, it would get really uncomfortable, dude.
He had no fucks given.
Remember when Dino put his he put his finger in his face, and there's that classic like, get your finger out of my face. That's like the best drop. They used to play that all the time.
Yeah, I mean that I would love a good feud.
Yeah,
that would be that'd be
excellent. No, it would be. Do you remember when fucking Tangway walked off the set?
Yeah,
and they was just Kirk and John Dennis.
He called him a bitch for sending his kids to camp. Wasn't that what it was? He
It
was
was
like, yeah, you don't like your kids. You're going to send them to camp because you don't care about your kids. I'm pretty sure that's
something
what
like
it was.
that. Yeah, it was something like that.
He's
Yeah,
like, don't talk about my kid. You
or
don't
he called him like a pedophile
Yeah.
because he used to joke about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that was fucking Kirk and John Dennis for like 2 hours. And it was just like
best.
awkward. Like,
And
just
Jerry
like
was just like sitting there like, oh, God.
no, Jerry wasn't there.
When?
It was the day.
do you mean?
That's what I'm saying. When Gary Tang like walked off, Gary Tang was filling in.
Oh,
for
you're talking
Jerry.
about the specific day. I thought you
Yeah,
were just
yeah,
talking-
just that day. I'm saying that one day, and all of a sudden it's just those two doing a show together,
Yeah.
like two guys who literally hate each other. Imagine if we hated each other and we had to sit this close to each other and just
Shows
talk.
how good he is.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
You're talented if you
It
can go
also
make
shows
a,
how like fake sports radio can be.
Yeah.
Where it's
Well,
just,
what
like,
are the
how
two guys that
easy
hated each other? They were on the Forever Mike and Mike, right? Didn't they fucking hate each other?
Yeah, Mike Golick and
Yeah.
Greenberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That was Kirk always just talked about that. They yeah, those you can tell those two guys. You can tell fucking Golick is like an athlete, probably wants nothing to do with this nerd, and then you can just tell the other guy's like he does no preparation. He's just a dumb athlete. Like you could just see that conversation. Like I bet that's they've had that 1,000 times.
One of my favorite Kirk moments was when he when he took the sign and went out in front of 98.5.
Oh my God, yeah.
That was so fucking
Yeah.
good.
Very good, very good. I was
Again, Menners and Red probably don't know what we're talking about.
Yes, right.
But
No,
anyways,
we're not
yeah.
fans. No, we're not fans.
Yeah.
When I don't know why I was thinking this the other day. Remember because you just said the protest, and I was listening to old KMS episodes trying to find a clip, and I was during this 2-week hiatus. Fucking when Steve didn't cut up the Periscope audio of him outside of Fenway Park. I don't know if you remember, like it was during like one of the racial things at Fenway where the Sox had to apologize for what a fan said that it wasn't proven or something.
Yeah.
You know that whole thing, right? And
Wonder what side Steve is on.
Kirk went to protest it, and he cut up. He had like a 2-hour Periscope, and he only cut up like 2 minutes of it. And like, dude, he did a full hour and a half of taking phone calls, just shitting on Steve. It was unbelievable. I somehow stumbled upon the episode and I was in tears listening to it in my car. Yeah. But that's really all I got for the KMS world right now, unless you got anything else. Like I said, VD's got his new show. I don't know how often it's going to be airing, but
Solo Dolo.
Yeah, Solo Dolo. I
Solo
don't know.
Dolo's tough, man. It's hard.
Especially for like a recap show, because if you're talking, maybe not just a recap, because I know he's talking about other things than just the Kirk Minahan show, but I feel like you kind of want to have, if you are talking about the Kirk Minahan show, you kind of want to have different perspectives. You want to
bounce
just tell
something
your
off
own.
someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. Yeah. But that's really all I got. We'll see. Hopefully, the Wilbur's going to be great. And I don't know when the next show is going to be, but I'm excited for it. I think Kirk said he's doing like 2 weeks off. So I don't know when people are listening to this, but hopefully the show's back.
Should be next week they're back, I think, right? Next Monday? Or
Probably.
if it's actually like a 2 week, I don't know if it's like an actual, on 2
Monday the 27th or something. Yeah.
Or what days do they record?
Yeah, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know. He changes it whenever the fuck he wants to.
Well,
So.
it's Dave's kids.
That's true. That's very true. Very true. Before we get into the rest of the stuff, because we do have a couple other things, let me grab a fucking water because I'm dying right now. You want one?
You want to grab me a Gatorade in there? I did have one more KMS thing. Did you happen to? I'm sure you're listening. Did you believe Dave?
With his Me Too story?
Yeah.
No. I mean,
So-
is the fuck? Are you serious?
Well-
Nobody believes that.
Well, I don't think he was.
Do you believe his limo story where he got shot at?
Well, no, but his Me Too story is not crazy. Like, you don't think she showed him a little lip? Flashed him a little lip? She was a little interested in Dave Cully?
That's kind of a crazy claim to think that was on purpose, though.
I had a teacher flash me once.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, not on purpose.
This is
Yeah,
this
true
is-
story.
yeah,
True story.
here
Ready?
we go.
Bleep her name out. I'll say it, but will you bleep it out, or should I just not say it so it's easier?
Yeah, her name was Miss Brown.
Who's that?
There you
Oh,
go.
you're joking. Okay.
Yeah.
So Miss Brown.
That
right?
was one of my teachers, though. I think people know that one.
You know what's funny is
Miss Gray. Miss Gray.
Well, it's funny.
Might be
that-
one too.
Yeah, it could be too. I'm just gonna say her name.
All right,
Fuck it, right?
It's a public teacher. I mean, she flashed you. It's not your fault.
That's what I'm saying. So my Me
fuck?
Too story
Yeah.
was a total accident, but Miss Hirsch, remember her?
Oh yeah.
She was pretty young. This was funny because this was after
boy.
she told me and wrote me up for sexually harassing her, right? This is
You sexually harassed a teacher?
evidently. You want to hear the story? You want to see? You tell me. You tell me if I sexually harassed a teacher.
Yes, quickly, please. This is
My mom was actually pissed off at this that she wrote me up. for this.
I wouldn't
So
want that on my record.
She
Predator.
She goes to, I believe it was John Gomesy, who's a student, fellow peer.
We're doing first and last names. I love it.
Putting it right out there. So basically, I don't even know what he did. He was acting out, and she was like, "You and me after school. You have a date with me after school." And I went, "Ooh,
Oh yeah.
And they hit, and she literally freaked out.
Yeah.
Gave me a thing, said, gave me a detention. I don't even remember. It was weird. She gave me this slip and was like, the one that she was supposed to write up, like when they write it up. And she gave it to me. It was like, you write down right there that you sexually harassed me. And I was like, what? I sexually harassed you?
Wait. Wait. She told you to write down.
Yes. On the slip that she was like supposed to write, like an
incident
write-up.
report, like an incident report.
Exactly.
If you were the victim.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck?
Matakees Middle School, folks. Here you go.
Yeah. So fast forward, I don't know, a couple months later. Like actually, I think my mom went in there with like fucking freaked out on them, and they were like, "Yeah, you're good. Nothing's happening. See you later."
Yeah.
So then fast forward, I should have made a big deal about it. If I could go back, I would have, even though she totally did this by accident.
Did you really get me too? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, you got
I'm
me
with
too.
you, Davey. I'm with you, Dave. So all of a sudden, we're in class, and she did this by accident. I'm not going to act like she was just totally back. I mean, maybe not.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there.
I'll believe it for now.
I'm sitting there in class, and we're going. She's basically reading over attendance. And after she's done, she puts her clipboard. She's like standing up straight. She puts her clipboard down, like to her thing, and so she looks at the class or whatever. And then she like went to go look back up at the clipboard. The clipboard grabbed her skirt, and it picked it up, and she gave me a show.
Come on.
She had a blue thong on. I remember it to this day.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
So you details.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So hold on, it gets better. She makes direct eye contact with me. I swear to God. And she literally, like, she's mortified. Like, she just saw a ghost. And I just, like, put my head down and, like, did a smirk and never said a thing. And nothing ever happened with it again. But going back, I wish so badly I had the smarts to be like, you sexually harassed me. And just totally flipped it on her and gave it back to her after what she tried to do to me.
You probably would, you might
know what
have
I mean?
got some benefits out of that.
Yeah.
You might have got a free ride somewhere.
Davey might have gotten some lip flashed at him by accident, and maybe he took
Baby Dave got harassed as a kid?
Could have been. Like, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but it's not the most unplausible story. I also wouldn't consider it a Me Too story because, like, I would have been glad if she wasn't wearing underwear and she showed me her.
If you're getting flashed on purpose as an 11-year-old, that's somewhat of a Me Too story. Somebody's getting off on that at age something. Like
very weird.
Yeah,
very weird.
Yeah. It's not like you're 17. That's so different. It's weird. It is weird, but it's different.
7th grade is what it was. So I don't know how old I am, but
12.
Yeah, 12 or something like that.
Yeah, that's
11.
weird. That's just weird. You're barely hitting like puberty.
Yeah.
Like,
So I really don't believe she did it on purpose. But
yeah, no.
But I should have thrown it back at her after
if she
tried
did,
to
she's
make
a straight up like pedophile. Like that's creepy, right?
Very.
If you're just showing your clit to fucking kids, honestly though, like, I mean, were we gonna pretend like that's not crazy? Oh God!
You ever anything like that ever happen to you? Anything like a weird teacher story where you're
I told you
shit.
I've told this on the podcast, so I'll just do it briefly here. But I had a teacher who was a guy named Mr. Corna, and we were joking about what me, your brother, and like a couple other people in the class who I'll remain nameless were joking about, like what we would do for an A, or somehow that conversation came up. And I even said, I don't even know what I said, but like I'd like do fucking anything, or like I wasn't like, hey,
you were in satire. You probably was like, I'd suck a dick. Like it was
not even though I didn't even say
either
that
way.
though, but it was
I
like
imagine that it was a total trying to get a laugh situation.
Yeah. And this teacher like took me serious for the first time like ever, and like freaked the fuck out on me. So and like then had to apologize and ended up getting suspended for a couple days after everybody was like, yeah, no, I don't really know why he did that. He like kind of rage quit there for a minute. Al got
me out of detention once because I said something stupid. We were in Mr. Soper's class. He was an old teacher.
Yeah.
He probably was gone by the time you got there. He was in high school.
Dead or like gone?
One of the two. He was very old. We were sophomores, and he was cool. Like he was just like an old school teacher. Like just fucking fill out this work and shut up.
Love that.
We at the time,
that's all you can ask for.
At the time, we still hadn't switched to like those new flat screen computers. Some of the computers in the place were those old white ones with the giant backs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, Mr. Soper was like, "Hey, we're finally getting rid of those things." And I was like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And he was like, "Those things. Those." He goes, "That massive thing." And I go, "That's what she said." And bro,
alley-oop. That's basically what he did to you, man. Yeah, like, come on.
He erupts laughing.
Of course.
He like literally is the first time I'd ever seen this dude like crack up, face red.
He was old?
And
Oh, he's probably the highlight of his life.
Yeah.
He's like, thank God one of these kids can laugh.
He goes, You're going to the office. You got to go to the office. And then Al stood up and he's like, you just laughed hysterically at that. I'm going to go tell them you laughed at it. And he was just like, he laughed again and was like, all right, just don't say it again. And just put me down. But yeah, that was my only other time where I was like, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for like a weird sexual thing from a teacher.
Remember that creepy teacher, Mr. Fitch? Remember that one time where I said
he was a creep, bro.
We had this weird class where we were watching like hockey highlights. Think of this. That was what we had to go to school for. We were watching fucking hockey highlights. I'm not even kidding. That was a class. And we were in the middle of it, and I don't know why. I think you were there, and there was a couple people that were there. And I basically was like, he was a huge Rangers fan, huge Giants fan. Yeah. Both New York, obviously. And so I go, hey, who's going to suck more this year, the Giants or the Rangers? And he just fucking lost it on me. He was like, get the hell out of my classroom. This is when like the Patriots, I'm pretty sure, were in the middle of their 16-0 season. So it didn't even happen yet, like them losing to the Giants. So he was like, get the fuck out of here. He like flipped out. And I was like, I was fucking in like 6th grade.
You thought you were going to get like a laugh, probably.
I thought I was being a troll. I was like, yeah, I was an idiot. I did it to my brother every night. Speaking of that, by the way, I haven't talked to him. We'll get into the Al drama.
That's good.
We'll get into the Al drama. Yeah, it's very good. But I wanted to hit you with this. We'll before we get into we can talk about the Roe Wade stuff, obviously. But I want to.
What's that?
Yeah, there you go. Yep. But I want to save it for the end because I'm sure everybody's heard
something big you want to say.
Yeah, so I got a very big take for you guys. A brave one. I'm going to hit you with a geography milestone test. Yeah. The pop quiz here, pal.
Fuck. All right, you know what? I was looking at a map the other day because I was arguing with one of my European friends.
It's more like, where are these landscapes?
Okay.
Where are these, major things? Okay, so like Statue of Liberty, where's that?
New York.
There you go. Grand Canyon. This
Arizona.
is a list. So yes, but they say average American has been at least 5 of these. I'm pretty sure.
I've been
5 or 6 of these.
I've been to the Statue of Liberty 8th grade. I got to see it. So all right, Arizona.
Yeah. Zion National Park. I don't know if that's how I say it, but that's...
No, that's helpful. You don't even know what it's called.
I've never been there. Yeah, I don't know where it is. So
I'm going to go with...
I'll look it up real quick just because I'm curious.
I'm going to go with...
it's in...
Pennsylvania.
Nope. Utah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Space Needle.
The what?
The Space Needle.
What's that?
Come on.
I don't know. What is it?
It's in Seattle. It's the big giant building.
What is it though?
Like, it's a big weird thing in Seattle.
Space Needle didn't help. That could have been an object. You could have given me something.
It's the name of the building. If I said Empire State Building, you would probably say
New York.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like Space Needle is the actual name of it.
Yeah, it's the Space Needle.
It's
the big Seattle thing. You've seen it, dude.
I know what it is now. It's got the circle on top. Yeah. Okay. You could have at least said Space Needle building. Like I thought Space Needle. I'm thinking like you're talking about like the place where a rocket took off. Like you could have done a little more help there. But okay, I'm 2 for 4.
Liberty Bell.
Hold on. I have this. Washington.
No.
I was gonna go because it's in that movie. Hold on. It's in National Treasure or whatever.
Yeah. Come on. It's the old city. Brotherly love.
Chicago.
No. Philadelphia.
Oh, Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The White House.
Washington.
I'm joking. Come on.
DC.
Most of these you get. Do you know where the Gateway Arch is?
The what?
The Gateway Arch. The big giant arch. Come on. The big arch. You've seen it.
No.
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
I only know it because it's in the background of like the Cardinal Stadium.
Okay. Okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's not even a building, is it?
No. It's just like not all these are.
How big is that? That's fucking huge. Then.
Yeah, it's got to be something. It's got to be like a record arch, right?
What a waste of money.
There's something to that, right? There's got.
I don't know. Like, a Statue of Liberty looks cool.
I bet a lot of people will take offense to that. Okay.
It's a fucking arch.
No, don't insult the arch. You don't know. If you don't know, no, but you don't know you don't know. All right, now you're getting a lesson because you don't know what the history behind the arch is.
Yeah, let's have a history lesson since we're doing history here.
All right, what is it called?
The Golden Arch. No, that's McDonald's.
St. Louis Arch. Yeah, what's the history here? The Gateway Arch. What's going on with this thing?
What's it represent?
What do you think? I mean, it's got to be like is it like a memorial?
Again, I think it's stupid. So no.
Yeah, the world's tallest arch.
Nice.
Tallest man-made monument in the Western Hemisphere.
Waste of money. Like I said. Doesn't even look good.
The gateway to the West. So it's basically like when you cross through St. Louis, it becomes western part of the United States.
Big waste of money, like I said.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like that's. There's no.
Doesn't even represent anything, anyone. It's
and
not
who
even a
built
memorial.
it? Was it built? Was it built in like
Did Michelangelo do it? Like, I mean, it sounds like a giant waste of money, like I said originally.
63. Okay.
How much did it cost? Let's do that. How much did it cost to build that? Let's see how much money.
I bet they've already made the money
Billions.
back.
What do you mean? You have to pay to see it?
Originally it was made 13 million, but then in 2020, recently, they had an $83 million renovation. So I think it's like accessible. I think you can like go in it and they have like
It's a money scam.
No, it's like a roller coaster. No, I'm kidding. I have
It's
no
a
idea.
100% money laundering scam for the taxpayers. And where? St. Louis?
Yeah.
Yeah, St. Louis. You're getting bamboozled. 83 million
might be
to
right.
redo an arch? What do you, think about it?
You honestly might be right. I'm a history guy, but I don't know much about the arch.
Yeah, the arch is a scam. So we'll move past the arch now. What do we else got here?
Most of these are pretty easy. I mean, the
I'm
rest
not
of
going to
these,
get them probably.
I don't know where Fort Summer is. Do you know where that is? Is that what that says? Sumter? I don't know. The Alamo. Do you know where that is?
Alaska.
No, the Alamo?
Sounded like it.
Texas.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not going to get many of these. I'm not very good with.
Alcatraz.
That's near New York, right?
No,
Alcatraz.
Yeah, you're tough, man. No, yeah, it's San Francisco. It's off the
Oh,
coast
that
of San
makes sense.
Francisco.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what's the movie? What's that movie? Sean Connery. It's Sean Connery
I don't know.
and Nicolas Cage.
Alcatraz? Is it called Alcatraz?
No,
There's a
but
movie
they
called
go-
Alcatraz.
No, they fucking. Oh, this is gonna.
They
kill
break
me.
into Alcatraz?
Basically, he's a prisoner from Alcatraz, and they need to go back there. They like saved the day by getting like some poison.
It's called The Rock.
The Rock.
Yeah.
a good movie.
96. Yeah, good call.
a
Sean
good
Connery,
movie.
Nick Cage.
That's a good movie.
Ed Harris. Ed Harris is
who's
a good
Ed
like
Harris?
villain. He's man, if you ever seen Westworld, he's the man in black in Westworld. He's in a lot of shit.
No.
But yeah, I don't even remember what was the last one I wanted to ask you. Hold on.
Stonehedges. Where's that? Is that in America?
Yeah, that is in America. Those stone, those
Yeah,
yeah.
those
Where is
random-
that? That's in
Aren't there multiple throughout the world?
Is that
And they're
in,
like
like-
positioned very weirdly.
Yeah, I think it's like same
Based
thing with
on-
the pyramids.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it is. That's
aliens, right?
has to be. Has to be.
They were fucking around when they came here and created us.
Well, that's
our-
another thing too.
you know?
Like I've read these weird theories lately, where it's like a lot of people just believe like this is the peak of human civilization, as far as like what we've been able to build with our
Maybe
giant
human
cities,
civilization.
or I guess on planet Earth. Put it that way.
Maybe.
Like, but then you listen to people like Graham Hancock and people who like read a lot of shit and do a lot of like
You ever hear what he
deep
did?
studying, and like they find like.
Do you hear what he did in Antarctica?
Undercovered like cities under the Amazon River.
Well,
It's crazy.
Graham Hancock he basically went and was in like Spain or wherever, and he saw a map that had Antarctica not covered in ice with like roads and stuff, and he was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Give me that. Or fucking took pictures of it and basically was like, went and got like a building permit to go dig down like, I think it goes by years in ice. Like, I don't think they're like, oh, you have to go like 5,000 feet
Sure.
deep. I think it's like, there's layers basically, and it's by years. And they were like, yeah, you can go 5,000 years deep.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, no problem. And he was claiming that he was looking for like this bacteria. And he basically was like, fuck you. And went like 25,000 years deep and found like a woolly mammoth that had an amputated leg.
Really?
Like not an amputee leg. Well, he had his leg cut off, but a prosthetic.
Prosthetic leg.
Yeah, they had a prosthetic thing for it. And he found like surgical tools and like
Oh yeah, dude, they got
civilization.
They got some
And
creepy shit
and
over
that,
there.
that complete dude, they blacklisted him. Basically, the Catholic Church basically was like to all of these major universities who they basically donate to make sure that they can keep things that they don't want known. Hush. They were like, yeah, you have to blacklist him. He's no longer allowed there, because if that is the case and they found advanced civilization, that would be proof of an advanced civilization past 5,000 years, which would be past the whole religious Bible fucking scripture. And he's like blacklisted now because of it. He's like not allowed to, at certain places. And
That's creepy.
Yeah, they, like, basically-
I just think like there's no way you'd be just naive to think like this has to be. I think that's what a lot of people believe for like a long time. But like as you start seeing a lot of like, just Graham Hancock, those guys who like study that like, world history shit. Like there's a lot of evidence where like there was cities and shit and under the
rainforest, like you just said, they did that radar shit, like the bat radar.
I'm not talking like the fucking 1800s. I'm talking like fucking years and years, Stone Age.
He found a
time.
complete like irrigation system that was done. Like
there's something going on there, right? There has to be. Look, I don't want to get too tin hatty. We don't have the tin hats on, so we'll save the tin hats for another day. But moving on, do you want to get? We're closing in on an hour here. We can go a little over, obviously, if we want. But
You scared of Menners?
I'm scared of Menners. I'm scared of Cullinane, man. I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared of screwing up a schedule. All right, I just want to stick to the schedule. Another thing, I said this. I haven't talked to Al. We'll leave it alone today. But he definitely heard the podcast. And he heard the 2-week ultimatum, and it's been 2 weeks. And he's decided that we just aren't going to address it, aren't going to talk. And all right,
like I said, maybe you should do it off the air. Perhaps.
Well, we haven't talked, and we haven't done it on the air. It's not like
That's what I'm saying. So perhaps you should do it off the air.
Yeah, I mean, listen. Yeah, I think you're taking it more serious than I am. I don't know why anybody's taking this serious at all. It's like, come on, it's crazy.
You haven't talked in how long?
Like 2 weeks, but I think it's like I'm not. I don't think it's serious. If he actually does, then I mean, again, I think he's got bigger problems. if he's that mad about that sort of thing.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Moving on though, let's get into let's piss some people off. You ready? Want to do? You want to tell people how you agree with this?
No, I don't agree with it.
Roe v. Wade, Supreme Court. Supreme Court is on the hot seat, folks. Wow. Twitter yesterday was one of the harder days to be on it, just because.
You see,
obviously, I'm down with the cause. I know everybody's there. Anyway,
brave.
Yeah,
brave.
Exactly.
Brave.
I do not support this, obviously.
Obvious.
But it's hard to be on fucking Twitter on those days. It is.
You're a piece of shit then.
No, because I'm aware about it, but I've been on record when this first got rumored. Like 3 weeks ago when we talked about it?
Yeah.
I said, I'm like, look, man, it's hard for me to care. But if you're telling me like, no, it is. It really is. I said this, and I said, I'm like, I don't know why a lot of people who've never been involved with it get so fired up about it. And I guess it was more the anti-abortion people who've never really been affected by it, and you're just kind of reverting to your religion and stuff like that. Like, I don't really get that.
Yeah.
But it's more just a thing on Twitter. Like, there is no middle ground with this subject.
None.
So it's like, why are we even talking about it?
Well, we're men and we shouldn't.
Obviously, I know people are going to talk about it because of the thing, but there's just a lot of people that like, they feel the need to go super, super irrational with it when it's like, I feel like most people would agree, like, this is kind of crazy to overturn this.
Do you understand what happened at all?
Not legally. I just know like that now they.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what? Like,
yeah. Like, well, it's abortions. It's national, the federal right
law
to have an abortion.
Yeah. So like basically,
but
like
then
states,
there was still some states that are making it really harder. Some states already outlawed it, but it was through like protection of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like Massachusetts, they just made it so you can always have an abortion. Charlie Baker, whoever just signed in a bill saying that like it's protected right now. No matter
we're as
what.
blue as it gets. There's no surprise. But
I'm
Texas,
just saying.
Texas, like Missouri, and all these other places that have been like hard against it and are like what a wild take where they're like, you don't like it, leave the state. It's like, hey, newsflash,
Get on a plane.
These people that are getting an abortion usually aren't in the most financially secure position.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it out of desperation. Like they're not sitting there like, oh, I want to kill this fucking kid because I want to go on my plane rides to fucking Cabo and all these. No, it's usually somebody that's like, oh my God, bringing a baby into this would be
but even if it is
detrimental
that is just
to
real
the
quick.
baby and them.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There's a lot of there is. There's a lot of people that say that though. There's a lot of people that say that like, oh, like stop having sex. It's like, what the fuck is wrong? That's really your take. It's like, yeah, it's like the one time that it happens to you, like you just shouldn't. Your life should be completely altered, even though you're not prepared to have a kid. You're not ready for it. You know yourself that you're not ready for it. I wouldn't be able to do this kid justice raising it. That's how I would feel right now if I were to have a kid. So like, I don't know why people can't really look at it like that.
Yeah, well, I think the hard problem is like it's easy to sit there and be like, like every life or every fetus deserves a chance to have life, but like the problem is like all these Republicans that are saying they're pro babies, they're pro life, like none of them are sitting there saying we need to put more money into single motherhood or education babies and all these other things that like would actually like if there was a giant push and they were like, yeah, we have an enormous amount of funding towards these at-risk youth and these babies that need help and these mothers that need help, it would be a different story, and I'd probably be like more on board with the idea of like, if you can't have, like, if you're going to be healthy and you're going to be all right having the kid, but you can't take care of it, and like there were actual resources there for that baby, then like there's a different conversation to be had. But there really aren't resources for that baby.
I don't think there is, though. I really don't think there is, because I feel like as somebody who, and I know it's different with the terms. Let's just say it's a regular just abortion, or it's not crazy late, it's just a regular standard abortion, whatever the fuck that is. I'm not pretending like I know, but hold on. My point is, like, I just don't think, I don't think there's ever going to be a point where I would be okay with telling somebody they have to have a kid, let alone telling somebody, I'm not this rational, you can't tell someone what to do with their own body. I do believe that. Like, I actually do like believe that, like, even without like abortion, just anything. Remember the vaccine thing? I don't think anybody should have to take the vaccine. I took it because I thought I would have to miss work.
I'm kidding.
Right? No, for real. I took it because I thought I was going to have to miss work if I didn't. Like, that's simple. Yeah. But no, I have a hard time saying it. And I know what you're saying. If it was a better setup where the foster care wasn't kids getting basically sold into fucking,
that's what I'm saying.
Human trafficking half the time. I mean, go look into that if you really want. And just some of the people that run these things, it's a money scam. I mean, Kirk did the case where they had a mentally challenged disabled person living in the basement because they were getting a check from it each month, and they fed her and made her, go to the bathroom in like a bucket.
100%.
Like that.
That's
those
what I mean.
People exist often.
That's why I'm saying if that wasn't the case and there was actual resource and all that thing, I would be more. I just went pro-life. Is that what they're saying, right?
Yeah, but like I would never tell someone they have to do it. That's where I just don't think there's an argument there.
I think there is. But
just because there's good foster care doesn't mean you still have to have a kid and put your body through it and do all of that.
Well, I think it's not that you should have to do that or that you should have to put your body through that. It's that you made a decision and there should be a discussion of when life is life. I don't think like you should.
But that's a different argument though. That's a way different.
No, that's part of it. That is not way different. That is
we
absolutely
all agree
part
though,
of
but
that.
I think we all kind of agree. Like
there's not a giant agreement above that. There's maybe a very open, and I don't know when that is. I'm not a doctor. I should say we all agree,
but like I think there is. But there's just always going to be circumstance where I'm going to have a hard time telling somebody, no. So I guess even if it is a late thing, like it's going to be hard for me to. Again, when it's not me and it's not anything, it's a medical procedure that's gone on for a long time, and it's a very well researched thing. It's a safe thing, quote unquote. Like I don't know why somebody would be able to do something.
It's really safe for the kid. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
But it's all right. But like, it's not. It's obviously it's a different way to look at it when the kid actually looks like a fucking kid on the picture, right?
Yeah. I don't know when. Like, is there a heartbeat? That whole discussion, like all of that.
There's all of that, but there's no one that.
Don't you think there should be a legal point where, like, hey,
no, because we talked about this last time. Because what if it's 7 weeks in one day?
I don't know. I don't know
That's
what it is.
My point.
What I'm saying is
that legal jargon might not be cause so many problems.
But what I'm saying is, it might not be 7 weeks in one day. It might be, let's go look at the ultrasound or whatever it is, and let's see where the life is at this point. Like,
and who's determining that?
I don't know,
because there's a doctor that's neutral.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Like, no, but there's never going to be it's all at the end of the day. It's somebody deciding what somebody else can do with their body, and like I just have a hard time with that. I really do. I with anything, let alone just abortion.
No, I don't hate that. I'm not saying,
especially if you're admitting like I'm not going to be able to raise this kid.
That's what I'm saying. Is to be a different discussion if there was resources to be able to help raise those kids. That's why I'm saying I'm not pro-life in that aspect, because there isn't the resources there to help these people. But if there was the resources,
foster care or like your own life.
All of the above. Like,
because if you're from a rich family, even if you have all the resources, you can afford a day nurse, you can afford a nanny, all of that. I still do not think, if you are uncomfortable and you don't want to have a kid, I don't think you should have a kid, man. I don't think you should be a role model to a kid if you're saying, like, I don't want to have this kid. And that alone, I think you're going to raise a fucked up kid if you don't want the kid.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wish there was more resources where there would be available for those kids that aren't loved, that aren't wanted, that are like that. Like,
I think we all agree it could be better.
I guess I just feel like my mom was 20.
Yeah.
When she got pregnant, like she could have very easily made that decision to not have me. I'm very thankful that she said no. Like, I'm gonna take care of this kid. I'm gonna love this kid no matter what. Like, I'm very grateful for that. And like, I'm not saying that every person's in that situation or is going to be able to do that. But like, what I'm saying is, I feel like if there was the resources there, I feel like it would be easier to be more on the pro-life side without.
Yeah, but you're still, again, you're
like, I know
that like point where
but like there's a point where that baby is a lot, like that's a lot, like there's a life in there, like there, like,
but also it's still your kid, and it's not your kid,
so
it's your body.
Kill your kid, like that's my point.
Your body still, it's still your body, and I think at the end of the day, like I think we talked about this last time. Like, yeah, dude, if you're having like 7 abortions with at 8.5 months each time because you're indecisive, yeah, there's a problem. We all agree with that. That shouldn't be happening. Yeah, and I think that's an extreme case.
I don't even think that happens.
I don't either. I'm sure that I'm just saying like that sort of shit. That the things that people point to, like those extremes. I think we all agree. Like, yeah, that probably shouldn't be happening. But still, at the end of the day, like it is a medical procedure that people have done for a long time. It's safe, and it's really you're looking at it.
It's not just a medical procedure, though. It's easy to just be like, yeah, you just get your tits done, you just get your lips filled. No, it's not like a medical procedure. You need to just get something like that. Like
it's serious.
Like it's just like I think that's why like there should be allowed to have the conversation there that like I think the conversation of like when does life begin it shouldn't be just dismissed so quickly to be like it's not your body, you can't decide. Like I'm not even saying that anybody should have the right to decide what's your body. I do think that there should maybe be a medical discussion of when does this life and when are we killing life. Like, sure. I don't know. I don't think that's that crazy to be able to have that conversation. And I'm not saying I'm the one that should have that conversation or make any decision about it. I just feel like there are probably some qualified people out there that could come together and kind of come to some kind of agreement where like, hey, if it's past this point, like we need to not just be like, hey, we don't have the resources to be able to do this. We should be like, hey, we need to make sure that we can get the resources for these situations. And that's why I'm saying that isn't a thing. So like that's why it's hard to be pro-life when there aren't resources for these at-risk kids. Like that's why I'm saying I wouldn't have overturned Wade versus Roe. Like I think every woman should have the right to be able to have an abortion because there aren't resources available like that. Most of these kids grow up in horrible poverty. Like you just said, some kids grow up getting locked into a basement and just basically being locked away so that the parents can collect a check. Yeah. Like that's why I'm sitting. Like I'm not sitting here saying that I'm pro on the overturn. I'm just saying I think that like the blanket statement that only women should be making the decision, I think is like a little crazy. Like I'm not sitting here saying that somebody else needs to make the decision about your body. I'm just saying I think that
you kind of are.
No, I'm not at all. I'm saying that I think there should at least be a medical discussion about when life starts. Like I don't think that's
if there's an unbiased medical discussion. Yes, if you could come up with a way to say that, but again, you're still always going to have.
I'm saying I'm not. That's why I'm saying I'm not. Like there's a reason why I'm not. But
there's just no. It's always going to come down to that issue where you're telling somebody else what they can and can't do, and like the people really. They point to the religion aspect, they point to whatever. It's more just like on just a human level. Like I have a hard time saying to somebody they can't do something with their own body. Yeah, I know that it's weird. And if
there's a baby.
I understand. It's life.
Kind of Montante's whole thing.
It's life when it's life though. No, like it's life when the baby's out. No,
I don't know, bro. Like I have no idea when it is. I'm not going to be the person to make that decision.
We can point to the extremes, but like I don't look at like I put it this way. I wouldn't tell like a woman who's a few months pregnant like no, you can't have an abortion. Like now, no, you're past whatever.
I'll put it to you
15 weeks. Oh, wait a second. You're 17 weeks. You're 17 weeks. You're going to do it now. Like I wouldn't look any different upon it. I would only look different if it becomes routine with that person. They're having this. Like then it sounds like all right, there's a problem here. Like you got to figure yourself out here.
Like I guess you're right. It's way you shouldn't be speaking for other people, and I guess I shouldn't be speaking like that. But I guess the easiest way for me to put it is if I got a random girl pregnant that I met at a bar.
Yeah, there you go.
And all of a sudden she found out she's a couple months in. Yeah, for real. Knock on wood. And she was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. Like I think I want to have an abortion. I might try to like. I don't think I'd be like so like. What? Yes, please go do it. Like
I would just. What would you say?
I mean, I would try to support her in any way that I could, but I would also let her know and be like, hey, if you do choose to have this baby, like I will love that kid unconditionally, and I'll make sure that I support it beyond your.
Well, that's different than trying to talk somebody out of it.
Yeah,
like that's way different. That's just saying like, hey, I'm not going to be some deadbeat. Just so you know, if that's the reason why you're doing that, like. Then yeah, but I also at the end of the day, I think
that's why I'm saying like I can only speak for my situation like that. Like I wouldn't want like life to be killed because I made an immature decision. Like does that make sense?
But that's why you're supporting the decision of somebody else.
I would probably be more pro on like keeping the baby than aborting it.
I mean, yeah, you can do that, but I think it's different if you feel that way rather than vocalize that. I feel like that would be a lot different. If you were to tell a girl, I think you should probably have this kid. Like that's crazy to me. I feel like that's crazy. I feel like that's kind of what we're talking about with like the certain time and certain. At the end of the day, if it's past the time where you have to have that baby, you're telling somebody they have to have a baby, and to me, that's doing not only that person to this like a injustice, but you're also doing the fucking kid
not for me, not in my situation.
Not you, but you're.
That's what I'm saying.
What do you think happened? I know, but let's use a little. What do you think? We've just talked about most of these abortions.
That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm not against abortion. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be.
No, but like most of it is not.
I just think it's a harder discussion than to just blanketly say, do whatever you want. Like, I think that's an easy thing to say, and I don't think that's like I don't think that's necessarily the right thing. Like, I don't think that's a correct.
It might not be the right thing, and I don't know if there is a right thing on this subject. But I also, I know the wrong thing in my view of it would be telling somebody that they can't do something with their own body.
I'm not saying you can't. I would just try to push for the other way. I would be like, listen, like that's, I don't know. Like, I guess, dude, at 16. I had a completely different view than I do now, and it's because I'm in a different position in my life where I'd be able to.
But hold on, how can you say that though, but not look at the person who's telling you that they're not ready to have a kid?
What I'm saying is my perspective.
You can say it as a kid, but the person who's an adult who's literally like, I don't have my own shit figured out. I can't raise a fucking kid.
Yeah,
like I had sex with this kid. I got drunk. I'm sorry. I got pregnant, but I do not want to have this kid. I'm figuring myself out. Like that to me is a contradiction. There.
I didn't look at it the same. Like
of course not.
Like what I'm saying is like I look at it now a little differently in the sense of like life. Like I just feel weird like not that there's a God or like that there's anything, but like it just feels weird that we have the ability to make a decision whether or not that life's coming or not. Like it's just a little weird to me. That's all. Like if I don't know, like if there's a baby in there, then and like it's gonna come out healthy and whatnot, and we're like, I just don't want it. Like it's just a little weird. Like it's almost like you're playing God. You know what I mean? Like
sure. Like, I don't think it's a situation that anybody wants to find themselves in.
No, God no.
So it's like I think it's an emergency situation where I think more than anything, but I think we can both agree on this. You should have the ability to get one.
How many have you had, by the way?
10.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And don't even ask me the amount of girls that I've given. Trust me, double digits, 30, 50, 70. No, God, no. But no, I've never had an experience with it. And that was kind of my point where it's like, I don't know why people get so fired. This is before when we were talking about this. Now I understand why people are fired up. Like, of course, people are going to have their takes today. And especially if you're a girl, vocalize your shit. I get your shit off. Like, you should feel a type of way. My point was the people who are kind of, just kind of saying stuff to fire up the timeline, and the guys who are kind of like, the guys who are like celebrating.
That's
weird. It's so bizarre to me. It's some of the weirder people in the world. That are the men that are prancing around DC, like think it's finally we did it.
We're saving but the weird thing is the people that are saying we're saving the babies.
That's kind of what you're saying. No,
I'm making.
I feel like that's kind of what you're saying.
No, I'm saying right now because of the resources. You're not
one of these crazy people.
No, I'm saying with the resources that are out there right now, the better option probably is abortion. I'm saying in a perfect world, where the resources are there, I would be more pro-life for that for that aspect that you would be saving the babies, but the aspect isn't there when that kid is going to have a horrible life. You're not saving the babies. No. You're setting up to have a worse life. So I am pro-abortion, but like I also think that it's not crazy that there should be discussion to be had on like when does life start. Like I don't think it's crazy.
I don't think it's crazy either.
Such a rejection on that. But like there's been not only that, but I mean, like you were saying, there's also some crazy takes on the other side. Like I'm seeing people are like, guns have more rights than women.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what does that mean?
Are we comparing
I don't even know what is that wild.
Yeah.
That's just like an irresponsible like comparison. I don't even understand it.
Two hot trigger like things that you're trying to bring together that are in the recent news.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's just like a trendy thing to say, and I keep seeing
we all agree there should probably be definitely more, laws for guns and background checks and whatever you want to do.
The biggest story right now should be like, since it did, like it should be like, hey, we need more money and resources for these young parents. Like there should be just we sent $40 billion to the Ukraine. How about $40 billion to single mothers? Like I feel like if they
make money off of it.
Yeah, I know you're not lying.
Literally why it's a machine. They make money, and that's why they don't mind taking away abortion clinics in shitty areas, because they say, oh well, if you're just going to keep doing this thing's going to go on forever. You people are going to go generations of basically living off whatever the government tells you can do and crap like that. Like then we're going to make money off they make money off these shitty areas. Like there's still people that have to pay taxes, and still people like live lives and shit. There's still like some economy in Baltimore and wherever, Minneapolis and shit like that. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy how like when you look at things like that, maybe that's too tin hatty for today, but I saw an interesting study from, I think it was Wall Street Journal. Someone said this, where in countries that abortion is illegal, is happening, it happens still at the same rate as countries that it is legal in. So it's like
that's why I wait and
it's almost it's unhealthy.
Be
it's going to be medically risked now. People who are going to get these illegal abortions. They're going to, you know what I mean? That's terrible.
Going to give the back alley abortion, or whatever they used to call it.
That's
you
real.
Know what I mean? I know.
Google fucking black market abortion. I guarantee you're going to find a lot of shit that you didn't know about.
I've made a lot of money in it.
Have you? Have you? Yeah. Have you really now? We're going on now hour 15. We did the whole KMS stuff. Obviously that's kind of the news of, I don't know, I guess the talk of the town right now. My soccer team's winning 1-0. Klemmer, rest in peace. Chris Klemmer, we love you. I don't even know if I would say I love him. You hate him.
I don't like him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Do you think he does another, do you think he does content ever again?
Nobody will watch it without the Minifan backing it. Like the only reason he has anybody interested in anything is because Kirk was hating on it. That's it. Like, and he doesn't get that. He doesn't get that the reason why it was working, why he was having any success, was the idea that Kirk was jabbing him, giving it life. Like, that's it. He didn't get it.
No, he couldn't do it. But
I would love if Kirk just shit on our show every day. It'd be great.
Yeah, we're more relevant than anything, Tim. We're not even on his radar. We're not even on his radar.
I'd be honored if he would shit on us more.
He's like, yeah, they host a show on the network. He's like, what the fuck's the YouTube network? Yeah. He's like, we still have that thing? Oh, boy. All right. Well, we'll talk to everybody next week. You got anything else? You good?
Save the kids. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
Abortion jokes.
I'm kidding.